Welcome to Learn English Fluently Now. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
We're continuing the journey of feeling lost in life. If you've ever felt unsure about your path, this video is for you.
Chapter 3: The Myth of Having It All Figured Out. There's an idea that lingers in the air around us. You see it in polished interviews, inspiring life stories, and even in conversations with friends. It's the myth that some people, maybe even most, have it all figured out. They've discovered their calling, they know exactly where they're headed, and their steps are smooth, confident, and purposeful. But here's what no one tells you: that image is almost always an illusion. Most people are figuring things out as they go. Even the ones who look the most certain, the ones who speak with clarity, who move with conviction, they have doubts, too. They question themselves in quiet moments. They carry fears. They wrestle with confusion. They just don't always show it. The myth of having it all figured out creates a false standard. It paints the idea that your life should be a straight, clean path with milestones that are clear and choices that are obvious. But real life is messy. It winds and bends. It throws obstacles at you when you least expect them. And sometimes, it makes you stop in your tracks, uncertain of which way to go. What's dangerous about this myth is not just that it's false, it's that it makes people feel ashamed for not meeting an impossible expectation. If you don't know your purpose, you feel like a failure. If your career feels uncertain, you think something is wrong with you. If your relationships don't follow a perfect story arc, you question your worth. You begin to feel left out of a world that seems to reward clarity. But clarity is often a product of time, trial, error, and experience. It's not a beginning point, it's something you earn through wandering, stumbling, experimenting, and learning. And even then, it's not constant. What felt clear at 25 may feel confusing at 30. What made perfect sense last year may no longer fit who you are now. The truth is, life doesn't hand you a map. There's no single direction to follow. And no one, not your neighbor, not your mentor, not the successful entrepreneur you follow online, has a perfect roadmap either. Everyone is walking their own version of an unclear path. You may not know what you're meant to do with your life yet. That doesn't make you broken. That makes you human. Life isn't about having all the answers, it's about learning to ask better questions. Questions like, what feels meaningful to me? What brings me energy? What makes me feel alive, even for a moment? The myth also suggests that once you figure it all out, life becomes easy. But the truth is, even people who discover their passion or reach their goals still face doubt. They still get lost. Because life isn't static. You keep changing. Your values shift. What matters to you at one point might lose its shine later. That's not failure, that's growth. What if we stopped pretending? What if we admitted, more openly, that we're all learning? What if we replaced the question, what do you do, with what are you curious about right now, or what are you trying to figure out? How much more honest would that make our relationships? How much less alone would we feel? You don't have to wait until you've figured it all out to live fully. In fact, waiting for clarity before you take any action often leads to more stagnation. Sometimes, it's through doing, through trying, failing, and trying again, that clarity finally arrives. The path doesn't always appear before you take the first step. Sometimes, the path is built as you walk. So if you feel lost, uncertain, and unsure, you're not falling behind, you're simply not subscribing to a myth. And in that, there is power. You are not pretending. You are not hiding behind false certainty. You are brave enough to sit with the unknown, to explore it, and to grow through it. Let go of the pressure to have it all figured out. You are allowed to be a work in progress. You are allowed to not know. And you are allowed to change. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need the courage to keep showing up. Chapter 4: When Success Still Feels Empty. Success. It's the word we chase, the goal we're taught to reach, the image we hold up as proof that we've made it. From an early age, we're told what it looks like: good grades, a well-paying job, a beautiful home, admiration from others. And so we work toward it, sometimes for years, sometimes for decades, believing that once we arrive, everything will make sense. But what happens when you get there, and it still doesn't feel right? It's one of the most confusing and painful moments a person can face. You've done everything you were supposed to. You followed the rules, worked hard, checked all the boxes. On the outside, people admire you. They say you're doing well. They see the evidence of your success. But inside, there's a strange emptiness. A quiet voice that whispers, "Is this it? Is this really what I wanted?" This is the part no one warns you about. That you can climb the ladder of success, only to find it was leaning against the wrong wall. That you can build a life that looks perfect from the outside but feels disconnected from your soul. That you can achieve what you thought would make you happy, and still feel lost. This feeling is not selfish. It's not ungrateful. It's not a sign that something is wrong with you. In fact, it may be the first sign that something is waking up inside you, something deeper, more honest, more aligned with who you truly are. You see, success as it's commonly defined is often external. It's based on what you have, what you do, what people see. But fulfillment, the feeling of being truly alive, truly yourself, comes from within. It's not about applause or status. It's about connection, meaning, purpose. And those things can't be bought or faked. Many people don't realize they're chasing someone else's definition of success until it's too late. They follow the expectations of their family, their culture, their peer group. They sacrifice their time, their health, even their identity, for goals that never really belonged to them. And then, when the moment of achievement comes, there's no joy, only confusion. It's not your fault if this is where you find yourself. You were doing what you thought you were supposed to. You were trying to do everything right. But now you have the chance to ask a deeper question: what does success mean to me? Maybe it's not about a job title or a bank balance. Maybe it's about waking up with peace in your heart. Maybe it's about having time to spend with people you love. Maybe it's about doing work that matters to you, even if it doesn't impress anyone else. Maybe it's about feeling free in your own skin. Redefining success is not a step backward. It's a bold and necessary act. It's saying, I'm no longer willing to live by a script that doesn't fit who I am. It's choosing authenticity over appearance. Truth over comfort. meaning over performance. But this shift is not easy. It requires letting go of things you once worked so hard for. It means disappointing people who expected something different from you. It means starting again, not always from zero, but from honesty. And that can be terrifying. Still, there's something powerful about reaching that point. The moment when you realize that your life is yours to define. That you don't need to chase what everyone else is chasing. That you can build a version of success that feels whole and real, even if it looks smaller or slower or less impressive from the outside. You don't have to reject everything you've done to begin this new chapter. The skills you gained, the lessons you learned, the strength you developed, they're all still with you. But now, you get to use them in a different way. In a way that aligns with your values. In a way that feels true. If success has brought you to a place of emptiness, let that be your signal. Not a signal of failure, but of awakening. You are being called to something deeper. To stop performing and start living. To stop striving and start feeling. To stop building for others and start building for yourself. The world may not understand this shift. But your heart will. And in the end, that's what matters.
To be continued. Subscribe now so you don't miss what's coming next.